Everyone, Lisa here from Down to Earth Gardening, and welcome to today's video, which is on 4 easy flower seeds to plant in your garden this spring. So they're all really easy annuals that you can direct sow, which means plant directly in the ground. And I'm going to give you some of my favorites, and I'm also going to let you know what I'm going to try that's new for me this year. So I really hope you'll join me for the video. I'm going to talk a little bit about selection process and storage, and then I'm going to jump right into the 4 varieties that I want to share with you today. So I do also want to mention that I would love for you to follow along with me. I have some of my favorite catalogs here. There's quite a few reputable online seed catalogs. So if you don't have your catalogs, you can also order online along with me. The one that I don't have with me here today is called Eden Brothers, and I do have a lot of their seeds that I will be talking about. So if you want to look them up, they're also a great company that I like to use. But I order my seeds from a few different catalogs. So if you would like to join me for the selection process, I'm then going to do a follow-up video, and it's typically end of May where I plant my seeds here, and I will plant the seeds that we're talking about today, and hopefully you can join me and play along in the garden with me. So I thought it would be fun to do a part 1 and then follow up with the part 2. So a little bit about my process. It's February right now. It is frigid out there. We were in the negatives last night. So I love to do a lot of garden planning and then look at all these beautiful pictures, get some ideas. But February is really the last month that I will be ordering my seeds. So I start ordering them in the fall when I start getting my catalogs. And right now I'm looking through what I have and what I need and doing my final order. So I do have quite a few that I have in storage. And if you've seen my seed saving video, I talked a little bit about seed storage and how you really can keep them for quite some time safely as long as they're stored properly. So in the seed saving video, we used just some clean jars here. And so here I have some zinnias seeds from that video. But if I have them in packages, they're either paper or plastic, I will keep them in my garage, so a dry, cool place in storage. And then I found these nice little clear bins for storage. And I have this rudimentary filing system here. I'm a seed lover, so I have quite a few. So I just needed a way to store them so I could track them. So I have them here in this little filing bin, and then I made some dividers out of some recycled cardboard. So that's the storage, very easy. Just keep them in a cool, dark, dry place. So I keep them in my garage in the bins and the jars. And then number 2, before you start shopping, I really want you to think about where you're going to be putting these. That's very important because we will be selecting some flowers that are different heights. So you may have borders that you might want to plant, or you might need some really tall annuals. So just kind of think about that, and then also think about your color scheme. So my pro tip for that is, usually when I'm shopping right now, I have a tendency to think about spring colors. I'll order a lot of pastels, but I don't want you to forget about summer and fall, because you're really going to extend your flowers and your interest through the seasons. And so you might want to think about some fall colors. I love to see the oranges, the golds, the rusts, the burgundies in the fall. So I don't want you to forget about that as well. And also keep in mind what your color scheme is in your garden that you'll be planting them. So to jump right into my seeds, I'm going to give you the 4 for this year, and they're not based on in order of my favorites. I'm giving you the shortest as the number 1 to the tallest. So maybe that will help you figure out what you'd like to order for yourself. So number 1 is nasturtium. nasturtiums are really great to grow from direct sow, which means you're going to put the seed directly in the ground. And I really love them because they're also edible. And in fact, I have a whole video on nasturtiums that we're going to be posting pretty soon here. So the variety that I already have purchased is called Jewel Cherry Rose. And this is really a vibrant mauve pink nasturtium with a yellow throat. So this variety will reach up to about 16 inches. I tend to use my nasturtiums in the front of the garden or the border. But I do also have a couple other favorites. This variety for me is a new one that I'm trying this year. I like to try things in my garden so I can let you know what works and doesn't. And I also like to try things before I plant them in my clients' gardens. So a couple other favorites. I'm just going to open the catalog that I have tried that I may be ordering. Is I love the variegated Alaska mixed colors, and that's a really pretty mix because it has a variegated leaf and it comes in a few different shades for the flower here. So my next tried and true nasturtium variety that's really a favorite of mine, and you may have seen in videos where we planted these in the border of my daughter Hannah's cottage garden, and they were stunning. And that one is called Jewel Mix. So it's a really pretty traditional mix that comes in the cream, the yellow, the orange, and the burgundy. So that's another beautiful tried and true variety. Now remember, my method of madness here is that what I'll do is I'll purchase a couple of my tried and trues, so varieties that I know are going to do really beautifully in the garden, and then I will bring another newbie into the mix, something that I haven't tried before. So for the Jewel Mix here, these get about 16 inches as well. But I also want to let you know that when you're shopping for your nasturtiums, they also do have a trailing variety, which are great for trellises, or if you have a retaining wall that you're planting above for a nice draping habit. So that covers our nasturtiums. Next on my list are zinnias. Now you all know how I love my zinnias. They are so easy. They come in so many different colors, and the flowers come in so many different styles. So for example, this mix here that I'm showing you is the Queenie formula mix that we did last year, and this flower here is actually considered a semi-double. So beautiful muted colors in the yellows, golds, pinks, lime, beautiful muted mix. And we did this in my daughter Hannah's garden. If you've seen the zinnia video that I did last year, this is one of the zinnias that I featured. I love it so much. I think we may do this again. The Queenie series also comes in different colors, so you can order just the straight up red lime Queenie mix, for example, or they have lime with blush, but I liked the formula mix of all the different colors. But they also make a dahlia styled flower. You'll see some varieties of the cactus flowering zinnias. So I want you to really have a look at some zinnias, and just so you're not overwhelmed, I'm going to go over a few of my favorites, but they are fun to look at. So what I have in my mix, and don't laugh at me, you might have a chuckle because you're really going to find out how crazy I am about seeds. These are all the varieties that I'm going to be planting this year. I told you I love my zinnias. So for my tried and true that I've tried before, that I really recommend, is going to be the California Giants. So I'm planting those again this year because I know they do really well. they come in a mix of colors, which I really love for cutting flowers. And this is an example of a newbie that I'm going to try, and this one here is called Illumination. So upright and tall with large flowers, and the color is pink. So if you want to follow along with me, those are two. And I'm going to show you a couple of other tried and true zinnias that if you're also looking for some different zinnias to try. Last year I did the Benary's Giant, and I've done that for quite a few years. That's another wonderful zinnia if you're looking for a tried and true. So those are from the Johnny's catalog here. And let's see, for Burpee, an heirloom variety, cut and come again. I highly recommend this one because, as the name mentions, when you cut them for your bouquets, they're just gonna keep coming for you. So they're gonna keep blooming. So these are long stem rounded doubles, and the flower's 2.5 inches across. Really beautiful, and actually says here, the more you cut, the more they bloom. So the height there is 24 to 30 inches. Now with your zinnia, you can find some really short dwarf varieties if you're looking for something in the front of the garden, or you can find some, on average, they're about 20 to 36 inches tall, so they're a good medium height flower for your garden. Love the zinnias. So the next annual flower that I want to recommend to you for the direct sowing method are the cosmos. Now the cosmos are a little bit taller. So the variety I have in my hand says 40 to 84 inches. Now I have some photos, I think they're in our trailer, of the cosmos in my garden, and that was the Sensation mix that I have in my hand. These are my tried and true, and they were in height as tall as me, and I'm just about 5'9", and some were even taller. So they really make a stunning impact in the garden, but you have to be sure that you put them towards the back of your garden. So the Sensation mix is my tried and true that I recommend, and for a description for you all, it says 2 to 4 inch saucer shaped daisy-like blooms, fern-like leaf shape. So the foliage on the cosmos in itself is beautiful. It makes a really nice filler for greenery if you're looking for a little greenery in your bouquets as well. So this is a favorite of mine, but a newbie that I'm going to try this year is called Cosmos Red Stripe. So this should be interesting. The colors of the flowers are pink and white, and the height is 36 to 60 inches. So I am probably gonna plant these towards the mid or back of my garden. But just to show you some other options here, there's a really pretty picture in this catalog too. This was the Burpee catalog of the Sensation mix. So it shows you the range of colors here. So they also have pictured the double varieties, which are really pretty, and the orange. So I have to tell you that I've tried the bright lights in the past, and for me, I wasn't as wild about it. It's a really pretty dainty flower, but because it was so dainty, it really didn't have the impact that I was looking for in a cosmos for my garden, but really pretty colors and a nice petite flower. And then in the Johnny's catalog, you can also see the Cupcakes Blush, which I did try last year. We had this in my daughter Hannah's garden, and this was really beautiful, really feminine double flower. And then you have some burgundies, the double click cranberries. I haven't tried that one. So let me just look and see what else I have for Cosmos here, because part of what I'm doing here is I'm trying to figure out from my last round of ordering what I want to order. I've got lots of Sensation Mix and the Red Stripe, and for another newbie I have Rubenza. So I think this was in a photo here. Yes. Oh, that's the Rubenza. So that'll be another new variety that I'm trying this year if you'd like to try it along with me. Okay, so the last one, this is really a bonus one. I love this climber because it's really easy and it's really beautiful. It is, however, a seed that I sometimes have a hard time finding. So whenever I go to the flower shows, I will always scrounge around for this seed. I really love it. And that is called Ruby Moon Hyacinth Bean. So like I said, this is a climber and it is really easy, direct sow. So I'm going to read you the description because it is really beautiful. Flower color is lilac, pea-like flowers, and they do actually look like sweet peas. And then you have glowing wine-colored seed pods, which are gorgeous in arrangements. So this really likes warm weather. So just like planting beans in your garden, bush beans or climbers, they do really well in the heat. Trellis or other support required. So I am going to plant this on a trellis. So think about that when you're purchasing these, that you will need something for them to climb on. So my Ruby Moon Hyacinth Bean is my number 4 pick, but I don't see it in the catalog this year. So I would scout around for some different catalogs and try to purchase these, and we will plant these together. So all of these seeds we're going to be planting after danger of frost. So as I mentioned, I will be doing the follow-up video when I plant, and that should be around mid-May or the end of May in my zone, which is 6A. So just plan to do that accordingly when you research your zone. And the catalogs, just to show you again, that I have out here today are Burpee and my Johnny's catalog. And I also have a lot of seeds from Eden Brothers, but I don't have that catalog here. So if you don't have the catalogs, just go ahead and look online and place your order there. Of course, I have a lot of other seeds that I'm going to be planting this year. I love seeds and the promise that they offer in that tiny little seed. So I love thinking about that right now. And I've probably revealed what a seed collector I am. But I also want to talk a little bit about quantity, because I think that's another thing that can get a little confusing. And as you've seen, I have some little packets here, and then I have some bulk seeds. So for planning purposes for you at home, typically you will see packets of seeds, and these are really filled by weight. So it's hard to say how many seeds are in the packet. If they're really small seed, you're going to get quite a few more, and if they're a large seed like a sunflower seed or the hyacinth bean seeds, you're probably going to get a lot less. But what I will tell you about a packet is the way that I plant them. The square footage that you can cover with one packet will vary from a 1 by 1 square to a 3 by 3 square. So anywhere from 1 to 9 square feet. So I like to plant my seeds in mass. So if you're looking to do more than one mass planting in that 1 by 1 square or that 3 by 3 square, then I would recommend purchasing them by bulk. So this here is my Cosmos seeds, and it's an ounce, and you can see how many seeds are in this packet. The other advantage to buying them in bulk is that they're a little bit cheaper if you're looking to save money. And of course, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, the storage. You can store these seeds indefinitely as long as you store them properly. So you don't have to use all of these this year. You can save some or give them away to your friends. I'm planting them in my garden, my daughters, and of course from my clients. So I tend to order things in bulk. So that's it for today. I love doing this with you, and thank you so much for joining me and subscribing to my channel. I love having the opportunity to do this and grow with all of you.